Hey everybody, welcome back to Sharp Edge News TV. Welcome. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow. Please help us do the needful. Welcome back to Sharp Edge News TV. Today we have stories, trending stories around the world. We have the Sharp Edge News special for you. We appreciate you for being here today. Without any further ado, we have the chief himself, the High Chief himself, Editor in Chief, Publisher in Chief, SharpEdgeNews.com. High Chief Oladimeji Abitogun. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Ola. Good to be back. But I noticed your pun, maybe it's intended or not, on the word chief. High chief, publisher in chief, chief himself, editor in chief, and it still does not matter. Let us just focus on it. Well, I appreciate you, like I've always said. While I'm not that fixated on titles and other things, simply want to flow as a human being, God's precious gift to this world that is such a marvelous place to be in, a garden of delight. Yes, I appreciate whoever deems it fit to, beam the light of honor on us from time to time or at any time. But I appreciate the essence of what we do here and the point you're trying to make, and your sense of humor and about all that. But I also love moments of self-deprecation. That who am I? Just a piece of dust that is just counted worthy to be alive at this moment and for a given purpose by my Creator. And that said,
Uh-huh.
it's a beautiful world, and it's always an amazing thing to find appropriate words to express appreciation to those of us who appreciate what we do here. Thank you for the time you spare, the resources you sacrifice to be part of what we do. Good to be back.
Absolutely. To whom honor is due, right? Is that how they say it?
Yeah, we
Honor
give
must be
hon-
given.
give honor
Okay.
to whom honor is due.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I have to honor you because not only are you a fantastic person, you're a fantastic uncle, a fantastic homie, a fantastic chief,
So this
a fantastic journalist.
this your uncle that carries Fanta everywhere. But
Everywhere. A
an original
fantastic.
an original invention by Germans or from Germany. Those at a point that the world would not want to thank you for making me an
Yes,
uncle with
so
Fanta.
yes, fantabulous, everything. So
Yeah.
to whom honor is due, honor must be given, and that's what we're doing today. So I want to say thank you for being who you are. Yes, today I'm sure you have a Sharp Edge News TV special for us today, a Sharp Edge News special for us.
Oh yes.
You can take it away.
Thank you very much. Our special is gonna be um, about our idea of SharpEdge News Journalism Foundation, what we are about, and the little impact we hope to make on journalism professionals and journalism profession. That career itself, that trade, the practice, the vocation, whatever you like to amplify it as. Um, it's our dream and objective that, yes, life must have dealt us so much cruel blows. I mean, waves and tides of life can take us wherever we never proposed originally. But wherever we find ourselves, whether we are able or disabled, even in our disability, we still want to be able to contribute to impact our world. Remember, there is a song in the church hymn, I think originally crafted by an Anglican, that come labor on, and there is no one, no matter how unhealthy, no matter how weak somebody is, that's more claim that he will not be able to contribute or do something. And we should remember that such disabilities, weaknesses are always relevant in God's purposes, and they are often used, engaged by God for mighty things. So here we look at our circumstance, we look at the encouragement we have received, not just from our Creator, but also from destiny helpers like you, or like several people in our immediate and extended family, people who felt like they couldn't give up on this bundle of talent, and they said, okay, let us encourage the dream. Like individuals who signed up as employees, as the assistants, and people with whom we have journeyed all along. It's been a challenge to function without the full use of one's vision. But like I said elsewhere, quoting the accomplished American musician, I said that one may be, that one is losing the use of one's um, eyes or sight. Does not mean that one has no vision, So the way we are today, we just want to contribute, and we will identify talents in journalism. Some people who work with SharpEdgeNews.com or outside SharpEdgeNews.com, especially the very important tool and field of investigative journalism. We will give encouragement from time to time. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to belabor this fact, because I said as we journey along with one another, the vision, the dream, the goals, objectives would gradually unfold before us all. But what we want to encourage for a start is the Journalism Week that starts with Nigerian Union of Journalists in Ondo State in the month of October, and the SharpEdge News family, the SharpEdgeNews.com news website, our television outlets everywhere, our sister organizations, SharpEdge News Journalism Foundation, all of us, and personally, I as Oladimeji Ruben Abitogun, we all are signing up as co-sponsors and supporters for the activities that is being coordinated by the chairperson of this year's celebration, Dr. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi of Ondo State Radiovision Corporation, which is now known as Ondo State Media Group. So, a shout out to the chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists Ondo State branch or chapter, Prince Leke Adegbite. So that is, we are not going to name any amount, but substantially we are involved, and we will support the celebration of that week and celebration of individual awardees during the week. That is our special for this week about what SharpEdge News Journalism Foundation is doing as a start. We also identified a particular strong reporter, and not just because she's a strong reporter, but for being a very daring woman. She had an encounter with David Umahi, the Minister of Works, during the whole hoopla about the East-West highway construction in Nigeria, and the minister tried to talk down on her, to devalue her, and mock her accent. Although he knew that lady journalist is of Nigerian extraction. So about the prejudice and the insensitivity of government officials, in spite of all that, the lady still went ahead pushing her question. Whoever knows this lady from the stable of Arise Television should please let her know that a certain amount, 100,000 naira, is waiting for her from a SharpEdge News Journalism Foundation. Mm-hmm. That is how we start the week going. For bundle of other bundle of talents in journalism, standing up to the the arrogance and the oppressive tactics and repressive tactics against the media anywhere in Africa. SharpEdgeNews.com, SharpEdge News Journalism Foundation, all our outlets, our partners, all of us would be involved in this enterprise of making sure that the profession thrives. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that short weekly SharpEdge News special report. I appreciate you. With that being said, again, we have some trendy stories around the world that we want to talk and Jiro Lori. So we'll be right back.
So you want to explain to our international audience what, anyway, you have said it in English. Talk about Jiro Lori. We will trash it out. But Jiro in Yoruba language, spoken by over 50 million Africans, means what does it mean? Dialogue.
It means dialogue, yes. It means dialogue.
Discussion.
So feel free to join us in the conversation in the comments
section. Yes, the word conversation. Yes, Jiro. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow, and we will be right back. All right, welcome back. Tinubu cancels the United Nations GA79 trip to tackle Nigeria's crisis. There is a report here on, I think, on Punch Nigeria News, punchng.com, and I'm going to read it and then we'll talk about it. So the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly is going on in New York City as we speak. And in his stead, Vice President Kashim Shettima will lead Nigeria's delegation to the annual summit. Tinubu, and I quote, wants to focus on domestic issues and address some of the country's challenges, especially after the recent devastating flooding. A statement from the Presidential Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, revealed on Thursday. The statement is titled, Vice President Shettima to lead Nigeria's delegation to the 79th United Nations General Assembly. It read, President Bola Tinubu will not attend the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York this year. And I quote, therefore, the president has directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to lead. Tinubu will return to the country last Sunday after his trips to China and United Kingdom, wants to focus on domestic issues, said Ononuga. At UNGA 79, Vice President Shettima will deliver Nigeria's national statement to the General Assembly, attend important sideline events, and hold bilateral meetings. The high-level general debate with the theme, Leaving No One Behind, Acting Together for the Advancement of Peace, Sustainable Development, and Human Dignity for Present and Future Generations will run from Tuesday, September 24th, Saturday, through Saturday, September 28th, 24. All right. So as a matter of fact, I will be attending an event tomorrow. It's an event called the Next 3 Billion. In attendance will be the Aliko Dangote, Dr. Akinwumi Akishino that I met via your introduction some years back. And then there's one more person. I forgot the name now, but quite a number of people will be out in New York starting tomorrow. But a few president of Malawi, I forgot his name now. But yeah,
Mhm.
what's your take on this? This is a good move from Tinubu to cancel this trip.
Well, I welcome it with a mixed. I mean, with a mixed attitude, reaction, and probably a bit of indifference. I would have loved that Tinubu took that decision out of genuine concern to uh, focus on the myriads of domestic problems dogging our land of birth, Nigeria, at the moment. You remember that he actually was going to ignore the enormity of the tragedy that occurred with the avoidable flood situation in Borno State a week and a half ago, in which it is estimated that more than 200 people may have died, but officially, and I do not know why Nigerians, Nigerians often, what's it called? Nigerian officials often play this kind of suppressing and trying to under-report the numbers of casualties that attend any tragic event, whether it is road accident, whether it is activities arising from terrorism, kidnapping by bandits, armed robbers, and all kinds of sad situations. Nigeria often does that, and that is not proper because it's also still, it still borders on this huge failure in terms of being accountable to citizens and the entire world. Now, that said, why did I say that I welcome this with a mixed that about a bit indifferent. Yes, I would have loved to comment Tinubu, but remember, Tinubu was just going to move from what I consider an unnecessary trip to China. From there, have some handshake, ceremonial handshake with King Charles of the United Kingdom. From there, he went for a private medical checkup or medical treatment with at St. Mary's Hospital in United Kingdom there. And from there, he had proposed without telling Nigerians, because he keeps going on all these unofficial and unannounced trips. Nigerians do not know where he hides. You know, I'm boldly saying it. He hides from the Nigerian public most times, and where he goes, we do not know most times. Whether he's in France, whether he goes anywhere, we do not know where he is most of the time when he's not inside the country, and when he is even in Nigeria. Part of what some of his supporters, what some of his faithful followers, what they complain about is that he is not accessible, that he is an hostage of power, an hostage of a certain cabal that I do not know. You know, now he was not going to come to Nigeria, like he said. He himself said it when he got to Borno State. He just said he wanted to breathe in for like 5 minutes. It was not part of his intention to come and commiserate originally with the victims of the flood tragedy in Borno State. And mark you, there have been victims of a flood situation, you know, something that had been predicted by the Nigerian Hydrological Society months back. it's been anticipated. Nigeria has dealt with this perennially, and it doesn't seem that Nigeria is ready to do anything about it. Ecological funds are appropriated. They are given to each local government, 774 of them all over Nigeria every month. This is brazenly stolen. It's not used to address Nigeria's ecological challenges. And so Tinubu was going to keep that annual ritual of going to New York, organize some circles in the name of looking for direct foreign investment, get some people that will not be committed. And when they are committed, they just come there to foist what is now known as a neo-liberal economic concepts and ideologies on the country, further putting Nigerians and Africans in general in a misery. So, to the extent that he's stepping down and that his advice is attending in his place, some people on the face of it would want to look at that and applaud. But I hesitate. I'm not going to applaud. Why would I not applaud? Years back, when this idea of welcoming Nigerian presidents, since 1998, 1999, it's become something that Nigerians in America often look forward to. Since the coming of APC administration, a critical section of making that event something that is worthy has been so weakened. Remember, we had our movement of Nigerian journalists in the diaspora, and you have even operated with us during some of our functions, some of our assignments during the United Nations annual summit in New York. Since the coming of APC administration, it's almost like they have been relentless in making sure that our organization is totally destroyed. They do not invite us for anything. Up till the time that the late Professor Ade Adefuye was the Nigeria's ambassador to the United States here, we were very vibrant. But with the coming of these people, and somebody that was even part of us, like the then spokesperson to Vice President Oshibajo, Akonde, did everything possible to make sure that that organization became so weakened. And they will pack all kinds of people from Nigeria on presidential plane. We have nothing against them, but you cannot tell the story better than those of us who are Nigerian Americans here. And so, because they always love to hide what they are doing, they make sure that they push us aside and then they report what they want to report. Usually things that did not really happen there. But thank God for individual practitioners and professionals like what's her name? Adeola Fayemi. Fayem. Adeola Fayem. Mm-hmm. They've been making sure that they keep everybody on. Making sure that the highs are not off the price, and everybody is doing everything possible to make sure that Nigeria continues to gain relevance. Thank God for the kind of forum that you'll be attending with Aliko Dangote of Africa tomorrow. Other than those such impactful fora, the ones often the ones often marked by way of protocol by Nigerian government functionaries and their RM of what do you call them? Executive ladies. I do not know how those things often impact. But back home, that Tinubu is staying back there. He's even stoking more controversy. Probably it would have even been okay to have him out of the country at this time. Look at his spin on the result of the controversial election in Edo State yesterday. While inside Nigeria there, he said the fact that APC won is a proof that the public approves of the hunger and all the kind
And the
of
hunger that comes with, and the inflation that it comes with.
is around the country.
Terrible.
Isn't that something terrible? Isn't that the height of insensitivity? It was going to be insensitive in being stubborn about going to United Nations forum, but it's been more insensitive with the incendiary and insidious stuff he said concerning the Pyrrhic victory they got in Edo State. That said, I come back to my original position. I welcome it. I welcome his decision not to be in New York with mixed feelings. But the ATR, he will still be president of Nigeria by the time United Nations marks 80 years next year. Maybe it will be okay for him to be part of that celebration, but not just him. Nigerian journalists in America, all over the world, should also be part of that event. So, as Tinubu stays home, we hope he would be able to get more pragmatic and more practical in looking and chasing after solutions that can put smiles on the battered consciousness of the multidimensional battering of Nigerians, I mean, at this time, so that there can be a reprieve for every Nigerian, whether home or abroad. Whether home or abroad. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I didn't know what that meant too. Okay, he stayed in Nigeria for 5 days. Okay. All right.
No, he said he was breathing in. He was breathing in, even just if for just 5 minutes to commiserate with the people of Borno State. And then
no, I'm talking about the decision to cancel the trip.
Okay. Oh yes, yeah, it's good for him to stay at home once and for all. They always flying around. Obasanjo too had his own.
The question is that going to change the situation of the average Nigerian citizen today?
Only to the extent that it should change. It should lead to some retreat and sobriety on his part, so that I can think through solutions that will bring practical, that would be able to take some burden off the shoulders of Nigerians at this moment. And unfortunately, somebody like Aliko Dangote said that should he won't be in Nigeria at this time, making sure, I know he's a private citizen, but he should also be in Nigeria at this time because he carries a very cardinal burden at this moment concerning appropriate pricing for his, petroleum products coming from his refinery, so that Nigerians can once and for all smile, and then get some sense. This moment should be used for getting some sense into the brains of NNPCL and everybody concerned in even the monetary policy minders at CBN. Everybody just make sure that Nigeria works better than the way it is being run presently. Right. That is what this moment should help us to address.
Okay. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow, and we'll be right back with some additional trending news around the world. All right, let's talk about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. All right, so a couple of things today, a couple of update. Well, we know that over the past few days, there's been some alleged attempted, attack on his life again, the assassination attempt. But there's other news here talking about he's leading in some battleground, about 3 battleground states. I want us to talk about what that means at this point in time. Yeah. Then there's another thing about he rejected the invitation to a second debate. I want to get your opinion on what these three things and what they mean. Um, I think they asked Don Lemon what he thinks about the assassination attempt. He asked him to look in the mirror. Vicious, but yeah, that's what's going on today. Those are some of the top news about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump today. Last time I checked, he's rejected to come to a second debate. What does this mean? Is this disrespect?
Well, it's not just disrespectful; it's also cowardly on his part.
Coward.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
it's pure cowardice on his part. You know why? He was everywhere looking forward to having a match
On the
or
first
that
one.
mismatch with Joe Biden. The
Okay,
moment
Joe Biden. Okay.
a better mouth, a better brain, a better handle, a
Mm-hmm.
better heart gets on that stage, he begins to shy away from the microphone and the podium, and he knows that there is no trick in his bag anymore. That the American public um, would not want to shoot down at this moment. Hence, he would not want to show up. And remember, it's a futile attempt at putting a positive spin on his woeful performance during the last encounter this past fortnight. So, I mean, the straight answer to what you asked is
Yeah.
that it was just being cowardly, number one. Number two is the fact that he does not have that staying power, doesn't have the brain power to stand the prosecutorial onslaught
Mm-hmm.
from Kamala Harris. That is number one. Number two, when people come around and they throw at us, American public, American voters, um, so-called opinion polls results, the one that is alleging that he seems to have gained ground in three
So to be clear, according to New York Times,
right.
he's leading in these three critical battleground states: Arizona, North Carolina, and Georgia. Go ahead.
Well, well, I would beg to disagree, but these things are not also done with what's it called? We can't. We can be dismissive about their importance and how they help us to develop a kind of compass on understanding um, electoral patterns and trends.
Mm-hmm.
Who may likely emerge winner. I do not seek to rubbish the good works of posters, but what I'm telling you is that that cannot be on our. I mean, that cannot be our focus. And why I slightly disagree with all this. I take I take a cue from what Anderson Cooper of
Right.
CNN said while appearing on a late night show with um, what was the name of this guy? Late night show on CBS the other night. Um, in his opinion, one should not be just too um, fixated on all these polls. But what are your neighbors telling you?
Mm-hmm.
I run to from time to time because of the nature of where I go or things that I do here.
Mm-hmm.
I run into die-hard Donald Trump supporters who will tell you things that are out of the ordinary, unbelievable things, all kinds of conspiratorial theories.
Mm.
One, I run into people who happen to be a mix of Republicans, Democrats, Independents, and all shades of people who say it's Kamala Harris. And when you run into maybe 10 and 8 out of them are telling you that, oh, what they are hearing is that people may not really vote for Donald Trump, then you got to move beyond what you see through mainstream opinion polls. What are people in your neighborhood telling you? And, New York Times has a way of deliberately playing the devil's advocate at times so that the person of the moment, whether it's Kamala or Donald Trump, will not just want to rest on their horse. They have to put in more effort. And in this case, don't forget that Kamala Harris still remains the underdog. Even when it appears that she's having this surge everywhere, she is handling it well. And all this negative, like Kinsinger will put it, negative nabobs, they are not enough to lower the dynamics that we are seeing for real. So I'll wait until the morning after the election. Thank God, my own certificate to vote came in the mail today, and I know I'm going to vote as an independent. And so many people are excited. The excitement looks to be on the side of Kamala Harris. So yes. Now, concerning the relentless efforts by some people to make it like who gets to him first in terms of assassination attempts, which is shameful and condemnable, because there is no place for that kind of attitude, that kind of culture in any credible democracy. But when Don Lemon said you should look in the mirror, yes, whether we are paraphrasing directly from Michael Jackson concerning the song that that was trendy at the time, which is still very much relevant now. If you look in the mirror, what were the things he used to say? What are the things he says that stoke this kind of reaction that seems to give the impetus, the push for some people to want to embrace the culture of violence? And when people are saying this, they should also remember that Donald Trump is a major mastermind for this kind of misnomer. Are you talking of January 6th, where he incited and led that insurrection against the Capitol, the attempt to see his vice president murdered or assassinated, and then how he has embraced the culture of violence, in many ways and on many fronts. So I think, yes, I would still seek counsel from what Don Lemon said. Donald Trump should look in the mirror. He should look in the mirror. But where we're going at this moment, the media should stop amplifying, the corporate media in America should stop amplifying the attitude and of Donald Trump. His abnormal behaviors. They are giving him some entitlements that he does not deserve. It's almost like the white male entitlement of a thing. They don't challenge him enough. They know he doesn't say anything during debate other than spewing out lies. They don't call him out on that. They want Kamala Harris to give endless explanation. What is it that they are trying to drain the vice president for at the moment that they don't know? She has unequivocal and very clear positions on every policy. Donald Trump does not discuss policies other than coming on public podium to give names and insult and intimidate and bully. And they let him get away with that. As for Kamala Harris, she is nailing it and she's killing it on all fronts. And I have no doubt in my mind that she has that traction. The pendulum is on our side. Thank you. Hello? Hello, Ola?
I'm here, sorry. I was muted, sorry. Unfortunately, not according to this New York Times poll. They said even voters in all three states expressed concerns about the economy, the big A word, AB word, immigration, and the direction of the country as a whole. Both candidates were viewed unfavorably by the majority of respondents, with 50% viewing Trump and 51% viewing Harris as somewhat or very unfavorable. This is according to 713 voters in Arizona.
How many days of the election now, Ola? How many days? 40.
We have about 40 or so, 44,
yeah. 44 or 43?
About 40 something. 40 something.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'd rather wait, because these people can put anybody's blood on the boil. The waiting game will soon be over, and then, like the color of a bright new day, all eyes will be so clear. That is it.
I was having a conversation with a Caucasian man yesterday, right. And he was like, he just busted into laugh. He said it's like two little children just doing chihuahua to each other. That he can't wait till it's over. That he's hoping that there will be some kind of reset in terms of Americans' dignity after this election.
But that swings more against Donald Trump. Have you spoken with anybody in in his administration? Generals, politicians, appointees, bureaucrats, technocrats, all kinds of people. They thought he was that dealing with him, his presidency and his personality was like dealing with, babysitting an adult all those years. And it's not just fit for that office. So if America misjudges and they put him back in that office, well, the world is always fascinated.
It's going to be rough.
You said?
I said it's going to get rough.
Yes. If you are going to bring African worldview into this, the Gesha person would always want to promote and seem to like, what do you call it? These characters in movies that we call bad men in those days. Yes, that is. They are always obsessed with that kind of personality. And I think that is, you said
the villain.
Yeah, the villain or the bad man. So that is the fascination or the obsession of Americans with Donald Trump. It's just, they look at him for his.
He said he's more masculine, and he brings that masculine. That can you imagine Kamala Harris facing off with some of the strong world leaders like Putin?
But wherever or whenever there had been an encounter between Trump and Putin and all these strong men, you see the way Donald Trump recalls like somebody, like a wimp around them. So thinking that he's been so strong, Kamala is even stronger when it comes to that. She parades a better credential in dealing with wannabe or real world dictators everywhere. And she exists for America's core idea and value of democracy.
So I think some of those people are going by the fact that Donald Trump is 6'3" and Kamala Harris is only 5'4" in height. I think that's
good for them. good for them, because I also know that I'm a bundle of 5'5", 5'6" attitude. But you don't measure this.
5'4". She's only 5'4", and Donald Trump is a full-blown 6'3" man, about 240 pounds. I don't know. I'm not sure about that part. But the that's what it looks like. That's what a lot of people. Honestly, I've heard actual people say that.
Such looming large frame doesn't make any difference when it comes to being. I mean, when it comes to empathy, when it comes to capabilities, when it comes to the mental stuff with which somebody leads.
Right.
So let people not come and barrage us with those irrelevances. Um,
Yeah.
After all, if you go into classical history and research, you find out that in China of gone by years,
Mm-hmm.
people who were in authority, people were not very tall in those days. Now
Mm-hmm.
people are now are becoming so strong and very very tall, like like in the dimension we read of concerning Goliath in the Bible. That's always a misnomer. So it does not. It's got nothing to do with one's height. And some people may also be very short, like the late General Sani Abacha in Nigeria. He
How
was
tall
one
was he?
of the. Eh?
How tall was he?
Abacha was like a 5'6". So, but you saw the way he ran the country. He was not a very tall person.
He ran the country into a hole.
Babangida too was not very tall.
No,
I mean,
those guys
Babangida is
were all
still
short.
alive. He's not very tall.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the stuff. I mean, it's not about height.
No, I
They
know,
say, yeah,
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 I know it's not about height. I
yeah,
know.
it's not about height.
Mhm.
People should just let us wait until the morning after this election, and then you know the true winner. Everybody is doing everything to manipulate the old stuff. This
So,
obsession with Donald Trump, when
mhm.
he comes and then he mutates to the full dictatorship and tyranny that they want him. I mean, they want of him. I hope they enjoy it, but I don't think this country will be that debased to have him back.
Right. So on the screen, I've been displaying Kamala Harris' faces that she was making while Donald Trump was talking.
Yes, I
So
mean, it's almost like a feeling of unbelievability.
yeah, like pity, like oh God. So she has a bunch of those faces. I've been displaying them. There's
Yes,
another thing with this news. Janet Jackson was asked a question during one of our recent interviews. I've forgotten what platform, but basically she said she's heard that Kamala Harris is not black, and I think there's another report this evening that
who,
double
Janet Jackson?
yeah, Janet Jackson, that she's heard the news that what she heard. I'm trying to look for it, and okay, yeah, she said, and I quote, "She's not black. That's what I heard." Well, you know what they supposedly said. That's what she said. Okay, so this was an interview with the Guardian. I think the Guardian is the UK's, right?
Hmm.
And she said, well, you know what they supposedly said, and I quote, "She's not black. That's what I heard." She had it. I was told that they discovered her father was white. What's your take on that? I'm curious.
That's really unfortunate because remember, my friend Jackson there and I were able to make contact with the people in Jackson family in 2004, and we spoke with
Mhm.
Jamin Jackson at the peak of the scandal that attended the late Michael Jackson's conduct around children and what have you in his
Mhm.
Neverland Ranch. And it used to be so painful to them that people would mischaracterize or characterize Michael Jackson as somebody that was trying to change his identity, that he had become somebody that was that was willfully used to despise the black race,
Mhm.
the fallen nose, and what have you, and all. And they pushed so hard against that. Somebody from the Jackson, the family now, Janet Jackson, for that matter, with all our own scandals in the past, to want to tell us who is black or who is not black. She should leave that to those of us who are coming directly from motherland Africa.
Hmm.
We were taken everywhere, and there have been genetic mutation all kinds.
Right.
What we know is that Africa is the cradle of human race, of mankind. So to come and amplify and lash on to conspiracy stuff, that hurts, and that is unfortunate, and it's so sad. If Janet Jackson actually said that, it's not our place to want to spin that. You don't tell a grown-up who his or her biological father is or was. What we know is that the father came from Jamaica. So who is Janet Jackson to tell us, or that she has read somewhere that the father is white? All those things are unbelievable. Because of politics, people should be careful how they try to denigrate.
Well, to be fair to her, towards the end of the interview, I think they tried to ask her another question, and she said, "You know what? Listen, I don't know anything about this. I'm not following something." I'm paraphrasing that she's not really paying attention to.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. She should not even have said anything at all. She's giving them. She's giving them that weapon. I know people. As somebody who has had an encounter, I was wowed. When we returned from our encounter with people in Jackson's family, that these people, we just felt it's all about entertainment and what have you. They are mentally sophisticated, extremely brilliant. You cannot just push them over when it comes to African American consciousness and culture and identity anywhere. So for her to have first said, "Oh, she read,"
she should have made the comment. She should have been a little bit more responsible
and restrained. And restrained. So this is how they come and they divide the community. But whether they like it or not, even if she's Caucasian, they all descended from us Africans, and we were.
The excuse they're giving now from her camp is that she unfortunately was just repeating the misinformation out there on the internet. There's another guy, comedian D.L. Hughley. He decided to chime in on the conversation. He said, Janet Jackson's interview sounded like a Trump rally. FYI, it's a little ironic to question whether someone is black while you're breathing through the nose of a white woman. By the way, it's a comedian, so
yeah. Of course, you had my reaction when Michael Jackson was accused of trying to change his personality. These people took offense. Michael Jackson explained the thing going on with his skin pigmentation, the something vitreal whatever disease that was afflicting his skin, as a result of which he needed some protection, and as a result of which he used to carry umbrella everywhere. It pained them that people thought Michael Jackson was not proud of his African heritage, of his being black. Now, if they are pushing this kind of evil theory, this sinister and dark theory against Kamala Harris, how do we justify that? Should we say they are moral hypocrites, or they want double standards? Don't forget, when they wander off amongst these people and they want to mob them, whether through the media or through the judiciary, they're always trying to cry like little baby, "Oh, we're Africans," and all that. They should not try this nonsense with other African folks. That is my opinion. And I'm not just saying this. As
you made your opinion that was very similar to his before I even read it to you, right? So
right now, I'm not just saying this as a journalist. I'm also saying it as an African high chief. So authority there.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So here's another one. I know it seems like I'm just pulling them out, but he said he went on to say, "All I know is Kamala looks like she did when she was in Oakland, but Janet don't look like she did when she was Penny. What the hell was in that eye?" And I think he's referencing a movie there. He said Kamala Harris looks the way she does because she has a mom from India and a dad from
Yes.
Jamaica. Janet Jackson looks the way she does because she has a plastic surgeon. All right, he's going in on her at this point. But
That's
anyway,
right.
I think the gist is that she lives in a glass house. She probably shouldn't be throwing those stones.
Should not be throwing that kind of stone at
Yeah,
anybody.
she should, and it's not an excuse that she didn't know what was going on. She was talking
And
from.
she's going to get clobbered for a very long time concerning that reckless and loose appraiser. Appraiser.
Yeah.
I wish I will. You know, I try. Anyway, that is just me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, everybody, join the conversation in the comment area. We'd like to know what your thoughts are. Do you think Janet Jackson went over the board, or we're being too hard on her? We'd like to know what your opinions are about that, and we'll be right back. All right, breaking news. APC's Okpebholo wins
Okpebholo.
Okpebholo wins Edo governorship election. Yay! Listen, to be honest with you, I'll be very honest with you. I know that Edo State of Nigeria was trending yesterday heavily. There's a news that I saw about Mercy Johnson's husband, who's a politician. I don't recall his name now, but he was almost mobbed by some political thugs. There were a lot of activities over the past few days in the Edo State gubernatorial election. I was hoping.
What did he do? Why would they want to mob him? What did he do?
And I was hoping maybe I can pull it up. I'll see if I can pull it up. I was hoping you can bring us up to speed. Did he win?
Yeah.
Is this what's going on? I know you mentioned earlier on that Tinubu made some.
I do. Yes, I do not know if it's an end. If they end that victory,
Really?
but I do not know if they end it. I would not know.
Why do you say that?
Because there have been all kinds of reports about the shenanigans of the ruling party, how agents, agents of opposition parties were disallowed from being part of the collation, the final collation exercise on Saturday. Then late arrival of materials, then discrepancies about figures that were recorded at polling units. And then that being at variance with what was immediately made available through their scoreboard, which they gave a funny name like is it IREF or something, and then what they eventually collated and served on the public. And increasingly, our university dons, university teachers, lecturers, professors, how they are co-opted into this this game of being part of how the books are cooked on election results, and how international and domestic observers are often targeted and ridiculed and denied access, and how journalists too are often treated with disrespect during this during voting exercise in Nigeria. That gives room for doubt and questions as to whether one party actually declared victory, or if it's Pyrrhic. That is what I'm saying. We don't know if it is authentic or not. And of course, remember Nigerian judiciary stands. I'm personally a victim of the antics of the judiciary in Nigeria. How I wish I can beat my chest tonight and say that, oh, Nigeria owed so much promises. What I see increasingly is that there are things being done that is all destroying the hope of our people in democracy. And I hope we never get to that day when we begin again to see people openly calling for treasonable conduct, say like coup and not, because personally I do not like military rule. I do not like military rule at all. I never enjoyed being under the military. And even now that I'm in my 50s, why would I want the option of military rule? But the conduct of our politicians, their inability to restrain themselves, their excesses, and their knack, that quick thing in them to want to embrace cheating, embracing corruption and fraud when it comes to voting exercise. That gives me concern. And that is what is so pervasive, what has been on parade concerning the election in Edo State. Yes.
Yeah. So the question you were asking with regards to
what
Mercy Johnson's husband, I think his name is Prince. They call him Prince, but anyway, it's a media aid. His assassination attempt. I hope you must have heard of the assassination attempt on Prince's life this morning. 4 men with a River State plate number on Lexus 470 who drove into his compound under the disguise of policemen tried to fire life out of the House of Representatives member this morning. Thank God they failed, and 2 apprehended by our gallant officers attached to him, and the animals are already making confessions. Has it gotten to the point of making an attempt to assassinate Prince Odi Okojie? That's his name.
Yeah.
So
don't
say go ahead, sorry.
Don't say has that got to
No, that's the question that the article asked.
From there. Yeah, okay. Yeah. If you're surprised, such attempts were made on people's lives during Nigeria's First Republic, Second Republic, and you are living witness to what we suffered in our extended family, Ola. Now, over and over, you know how many families all over Nigeria, even as we speak today, will be mourning. The healing they desire in their heart can only come by way of miracle, because it never goes away. What if I had not escaped the attempt, the various attempts on my life as a journalist in Nigeria, even as a high chief who said, please let us be equitable and just in the way people ascend the throne.
Conduct affairs.
The way people conduct affairs. It is, honestly, I'm so reluctant to embrace the dictum of, it's in the nature of the beast. But you look at some of these things, evil and danger is ever present with us as Africans struggling to embrace modern civilized standards. That's the point I'm making. If Donald Trump tells us this, we will all go after him. Oh, he's racist, is this. But we know the reality of life on our continent, especially in Nigeria. I mean, what is in all this? Something we all leave behind one day. And then we want to kill ourselves over that? Is it really worth that? Then look at how much people were offering. It's almost like hawking mandates yesterday. On Saturday in Edo State. The stake was as high as 10,000 naira, 20,000, 30,000. And you think these people will get there? They want to serve the interests of Nigerian public. These same people, do not forget, are now saying, oh, whether the victory is earned or stolen, or is a validation of the hardship that has been visited on Nigeria's on multi-dimensional levels.
Yeah.
You see the way people try to bring logic out of what situations. I mean, Nigerian politicians don't ever agree that the predicate of their public policies may be twisted, and they see it in the results that this foundation will not bring any positive result. But yet, pardon me. Yet they will tell you that, oh, it's all okay. People approve of what we are doing. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So up till now, this Okpebholo, they said end victory. He never, for once, addressed the people of Edo State. He never granted a single interview. They cannot vote for his locution. I mean, for his locution. He was never part of any debate. Honestly, whether it's Ighodalo or it's Okpebholo, I don't think either of them I don't think either of them deserve to win, deserve victory in the exercise. It should have gone to Olumide Akpata, but you know, politics is about strategy and what have you. You're talking of the best organized campaign, advert, what have you. I mean, reaching out directly to voters. Olumide Akpata did his best, the candidate of Labour Party. But you see where the thing is. And this cap is not even going to be for who the cap fits. No. The stakes were so high, and they did what they did what they had to do. So God help democracy and the destiny of Nigeria.
Right.
But my question again is in the lyrics of that Nigerian popular song. Now, like this, they go.
Something's gonna give at some point.
We just don't know what the way we are going to continue. They continue this way, you won't see Nigeria collapsing into a situation of one-party system, and that is not going to work well for anybody.
So, who, in your opinion, if you don't have to give an answer, but in your opinion, who would you think would have been the most qualified for that position?
Remember, I said Olumide Akpata ran a formidable campaign, and in terms of reaching out to prospective voters, he did his best. But I would think probably Ighodalo, if all things considered, if the exercise was really free and fair, the result, the unofficial result that people like us got, you know, we cannot do anything that would stoke tension in the system or heighten the interpret situation within the Nigerian polity. But really, the unofficial result actually gave it to the PDP candidate. So, but we don't know.
You said the unofficial result gave it to the PDP candidate?
Candidate, yes, Ighodalo. So we really will not know. We really will not know. Nothing can be what you think they are in Nigeria most times. But you know what? All those victory dance, eulogizing Ochomole as the governor maker, this and that, that is all trash. I think the real, the choice of the people, their expressed will is being suppressed on all fronts in Nigeria. People come out to protest, you roll out guns against them, you arrest them and throw charges on their faces for treason, and that the penalty for that should be death. They are intimidating Nigerians into silence, and that is going to destroy the country. And these were people who were never silent when they were so thirsty and hungry for power, to grab power. So I do not know. And what does this portend for other off-season elections? this is the foretaste of the questionable glory that beckons in places like Ondo State.
Okay. Thank you,
But
thank you.
do I sound despondent? Certainly
No,
not. Yeah,
no, I don't think we have any other
certainly not.
choice.
I mean, if they continue this way and they are saying people should not jackpot, people should not do this, I mean, how many of them can tolerate this kind of misnomer, this kind of abnormality? They certainly will not. So you want parents to continue to stay home, go
No,
for
Japa
good
is key.
yeah, go for good governance.
No,
This is what I would say.
Japa is definitely key.
Yeah, it's a major key, not the only key.
So
I
I
mean,
don't know. People have to
think of the thousands, if not millions, of Nigerians that are now orphans because of the culture of violence, whether political, whether economic, whether social, on all fronts, multidimensional. Think of millions of them tonight that no longer expect that their husbands will return home because they've been killed somewhere. Think of homes that have been broken because of the deluge of hunger on the land, or in the land rather, and so on and so forth. Our heart is with our people back in Nigeria. That is what I'm saying.
Absolutely, yeah. Japa is key. So nobody can tell anybody not to survive. It just doesn't make sense. It's like dead on arrival. Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody. Join the conversations. Obviously, as we adjourn, it's just that. We'll be back here again as usual. Hopefully, you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.